and good morning. I'm laughing at myself this morning as I observe myself feeling the doldrums, and that's what I'm going to talk about this morning. 2012, feeling in the doldrums. Doldrums is a maritime expression dating back to the era of sailing ships, where the vessel would enter the area of the ocean around the equator where the winds barely blew. It would be calm as if nothing was happening. And for a ship with sails, it was easy to get stuck in the doldrums. That's how I'm feeling. A friend said the other day that I lost my place. A friend said the other day that if she was shut up in her house for 2 months, as I have been now, she would be depressed. When she said it, I didn't think so. Since then, I do feel a bit of cabin fever. Oh dear. I really felt it yesterday. And this morning, as I woke up and laid in bed before getting out of bed and then went to the meditation room, I had no clue what I even wanted to talk about. And I didn't feel any special inspiration or passion towards something. I was feeling in the doldrums. And finally, as I came to the computer, I was hoping for some inspiration in one of the emails. And even though a couple of emails piqued my interest, David Wilcox's latest and also Drake's latest thing, which I haven't listened to yet, but of course David Wilcox is talking about the liens that have been filed against the all 12 Federal Reserve banks, and a cease and desist order also filed to prevent the world's wealth from continuing to be stolen. And someone asked, is the Republic behind all of this? Now that, of course, I'm interested in, because this whole Drake Republic saga has been about the only thing that has really caught my attention over the past week. It's really grabbed me, because I was on the call Thursday night for the Republic, where they were talking about the committees in the Senate and the U.S. Congress of the Republic, and they're working on alternative healing and things like that. It was on healing and aging and the whole debacle with our criminal drug industry and our criminal allopathic medicine industry. And the Republic has committees of very concerned people that have been working on some of these issues for a long time. Not, the chemtrails and all of these problems that we have. We have to address those. But the biggest concern, as I said in yesterday's video, has been the stealing of people's houses through the mortgage practice. And I've been working for years on being a free man. And 2 months ago, today's the last day of 2 full months, February 15th, they bought my house for $100. That the attorney that works for the law firm that represents the bank that holds paperwork on a bridge loan that doesn't have anything to do directly with this property insofar as being named in the documents. There's never been a mortgage on this property. And yet they bought my house in a foreclosure sale when there was never a foreclosure for $100. And since that time, I have driven less than 300 miles. All of the trips have been short little local trips around town where I can get back in a half an hour, and in a couple of cases within an hour. I mean, there's only been 3 times during that entire period that I have left the house for more than an hour. And two of those, I actually had somebody here watching the house to make sure that it was occupied, because I was warned that if I leave the house and maintain my former very routine schedule of going to certain meetings on certain days, week in and week out, and I miss some of those groups. I miss my Thursday group, uh, and I miss other groups of people that I was used to connecting with. And for 2 months now, I've been shut up in my house. And the only excitement has been this Drake, David Wilcock, Republic thing going on, where all of a sudden, all of the enemies of the Republic, when things start getting really close to fruition for all of the things that the Republic people have been working on, all of a sudden you've got David Wilcox shining the spotlight on this guy who doesn't even use his real name, this real person who has a fake name and doesn't even identify who the hell he is, and he gets all of the limelight because all of a sudden he's the one that it seems like is making things happen, when all along it's been the Republic laying the groundwork. But there are people in the Republic that got really frustrated and really upset because it wasn't happening fast enough, or because they tried some of the remedies and they ran up against judges that didn't pay any attention to them. Happened to me. Everything that I ignored, my UCC 1 was ignored. All of my affidavits and my statement, or my claim of rights, and my notices of understanding that I submitted before the court, none of it mattered. They still bought my house for $100 and trapped a free man, made a free man a prisoner in his own house for 2 months. And so I'm in the doldrums. I'm in the doldrums over the fact that all of this work that has been done by people that I have come to really respect in the Republic, and I really only know certain ones in Florida. In Florida, I was talking to our lieutenant governor yesterday, and I mean, we are getting lots of people joining the Republic, and from what he understands, this is a national phenomenon. Tim Turner made that statement on the Monday night call that the Republic continues to grow by leaps and bounds, much to the chagrin of Drake and the people that don't like the Republic and think the Republic is nothing but a big sham. It's not a big sham. Now, someone suggested to me in a recent email that Drake indicated that their plan is to have Ron Paul take over an interim government in the meantime. But there is an interim government in the meantime. It's called the Republic, RUSA, the Republic for the United States of America. We've been working for years. Before it was the Restore America plan. People have been working on these projects for years, educating ourselves, getting legislation prepared that will liberate people from the criminality of our governments and our corporations, and yes, the Federal Reserve Bank that David Wilcock is saying now that there have been liens filed against all 12. This needs to be done worldwide. But Ron, the crazy mystic, sits in his house, doesn't mingle much with people, and I can't say that I have felt like I was in depression, but I am going a little bit stare crazy because I'm used to mixing with people. I'm used to getting hugs. I'm used to connecting with people. When I first started doing this, people were calling me and checking to see how I was doing. Over the past month, hardly anybody has done that. I guess I haven't talked about it on the videos, so maybe people don't even realize that I've been locked up in my own house, except for, again, short trips to this grocery store or to the bank on a few occasions, or to the post office. But I pretty much, there are sometimes 2 or 3 days in a row that I don't go outside the house other than to the mailbox, or to work in the yard and water the plants and maybe rake leaves and things like that. But very little human interaction. I have my Wednesday night meetings, and sometimes that's the only time that I'm really connecting with people face to face in the flesh. other than maybe running, as I said, running to the store, but that's not really connecting. So I promised at the beginning that I would share where I am, and this is where I am. I notice that I'm taking, the last few days especially, I've been taking 2 and 3 naps in a single day. I've been going back to bed, except for Monday. Did I go back to bed on Monday? I can't remember. I know Monday was a horrendously busy day. But in any case, uh, I've been going back to bed a lot of the mornings after I finish the video and getting another hour, sometimes going on 2 hours more rest. And then by the middle of the day, I'm needing another nap. And by the end of the afternoon, I'm needing another nap. I don't always get them, but I'm feeling like I could take a nap almost any time. And I guess that's one of the symptoms of being in the doldrums, of feeling like nothing's happening. And that is the truth. That's how I have been feeling, as if there's not a whole lot going on. Now, my gut tells me, my heart even tells me, that nothing's going to happen in regard to that, what happened on February the 15th. They're not going to do anything because, number one, if they take action, I can bring, I'm very close to being able. I mean, I am able, but I mean, it wouldn't take much to file criminal charges against the lawyers and against the bank that's taking the action. And if the sheriff moves in, against the sheriff and against the judges, it would not be easy, but it certainly wouldn't be in the doldrums. I don't want that to happen because, you see, I'm not about punitive. I'm not about even punishing the attorney that has been so hard on me for such a long period of time and trying to steal my house from me, when she knows, and everybody that's involved in the lawsuit knows, that I'm fulfilling what Dr. Mary intended. This house is mine by reason of a trust, and it's inherited. There was no mortgage. It was proceeds from the trust that purchased this house. Yes, there was a bridge loan, but the bridge loan would have been paid back in full had they not messed with me in the lawsuit. It wasn't my fault I didn't fulfill my fiduciary responsibility. It was the fault of the people filing the lawsuit, which was a banker and his wife, specifically his wife. And it was the attorney for the 3 different banks that handled the bridge loan, which the bridge loan was taken against the trust. And so it's trust property. But it's my property because I inherited it. Anyway, that's a little bit more of the story that maybe you didn't know. But I'm not looking to punish the attorneys or the judges or anybody else, because to me, this whole thing is not about punishment. I would love nothing better, in the case of David Wilcock and Drake, to look at the Republic objectively and say, man, these people have done a lot of work. These people have really laid some foundations that will help many people, instead of bad-mouthing and say, well, we're not part of the Republic, and disowning the Republic and saying the Republic is a fraud. It's not a fraud. It's real. These are real people that have done real things in helping to liberate people from the fraud of the corporate government, the corporations and the banks and the all of the political chicanery that's been going on. Chicanery, I mean. It's crazy that they would invalidate all of that. And that's been what I've been most passionate about over this period, to be honest. And yet people are tired of that, and I'm tired of talking about it. Get on with it. Let's get together and unify and just stand in the truth and stop fighting each other and just stand together as one and take back the world from these criminals and really be free. How many times have I read about other free men and women who were locked up sometimes for months in their house, having their friends and neighbors bring them the food because they couldn't even leave their own houses because of the criminality of the government. We've got to get beyond this. I've got to get beyond this. But I tell the truth. I'm telling you the truth now. I've been telling you the truth all along. Some people don't believe it. Somebody wrote to me the other day that I'm going to have a lot to answer. When I stand before God, I'm going to have a lot to answer because I'm misleading the people. Another fundamentalist Christian. Maybe in the Republic. Who knows? Doesn't matter. I'm sharing my truth because that's what I'm supposed to do. And because I really want to see the world come alive that is inside of me. I want to see that flame of freedom burn away all the dross in our world, all of the craziness and the insanity of what our governments have done to us, what these insane people that want to rule the world have done to humanity. And I want to see the floodgates open and the blessings be poured out and the prosperity be experienced by people all over the globe. That's been my vision. That's been my passion. That's what I love. I love to see the kingdom of heaven firmly established on earth with Christ and Buddha and all of the masters of old working through us to bring about a beautiful world that works for everybody. A renaissance of creativity in which all of the suppressed technologies and art and works of art are finally able to be shared and released, when there is dancing in the streets, when children and parents don't have all of the stress, and husbands and wives and partners don't have all of the stress that we've had because of this artificial construct of this beast that has done such dastardly deeds. So I've shared from my heart with you this morning. I've rambled, jumped back and forth from doldrums and personal feelings to the Republic and all of the stuff going on about that. I love you. And I want you to know that God has always loved you. And you've never done anything that cannot be and will not be totally wiped clean and forgiven as we move from where we have been to a bright future of where we are going. Namaste.